Learning Objective 3. Determine the range, if any, within which a negotiated transfer price should fall. A transfer price is a price charged when one segment of a company provides goods or services to another segment of a company. The fundamental objective in setting transfer prices is to motivate managers to act in the best interests of the overall company. There are three primary approaches to setting transfer prices. First, negotiated transfer prices. Second, set transfer prices at cost using either variable cost or full absorption cost. Third, transfer at market price. Let's first take a look at negotiated transfer prices. A negotiated transfer price results from discussions between the selling and buying divisions. Negotiated transfer prices provide two benefits. First, they preserve the autonomy of the divisions, which is consistent with the spirit of decentralization. Second, it acknowledges that the managers negotiating the transfer prices are likely to have much better information about potential costs and benefits of the transfer than others in the company. Generally speaking, two division managers will agree to transfer of products or services only if the transfer price falls within a range of acceptable transfer prices, which increase both the buyer's and the seller's profits. The lower limit for this range of acceptable transfer prices is determined by the situation of the seller, whereas the upper limit is determined by the buying division. Let's take a look at the example of a grocery storehouse. Assume the information as shown with respect to West Coast Plantations and Grocery Mart. Both companies are owned by Grocery Storehouse. For West Coast Plantations, navel orange harvest capacity per month, 10,000 crates. Variable cost per crate, $10 per crate. Fixed costs per month, $100,000. And selling price for navel oranges on the outside market, $25 per crate. For Grocery Mart, purchase price of current navel oranges, $20 per crate, and monthly sales of oranges, 1,000 crates. The selling division, West Coast Plantations, will agree to a transfer price only if it increases divisional profits. So the transfer price must be greater than selling division's variable cost per unit, plus amount which covers any contribution margin that could have been earned selling to regular customers, but sacrificed by selling to the buying division, Grocery Mart. If the transfer has no effect on fixed costs, then from a selling division's standpoint, the transfer price must be greater than or equal to its variable cost per unit, plus opportunity costs, if any, from lost sales to regular customers. This can be expressed in equation here. Transfer price must be greater than or equal to variable cost per unit, plus total contribution margin on lost sales, divided by number of units transferred. The buying division will agree to a transfer price only if it increases divisional profits. If the buying division has an outside supplier, the buying division's decision is simple. Buying from the inside supplier if the price is less than or equal to the price offered by outside supplier. But if there is no outside supplier, then the highest acceptable transfer price for the buying division will be less than or equal to profit to be earned per unit sold, not including the transfer price. Now, let's take a look at lowest and highest acceptable transfer prices under three scenarios. The selling division has idle capacity, has no idle capacity and has some idle capacity. If West Coast Plantations has sufficient idle capacity, 3,000 crates, to satisfy grocery mart demands, 1,000 crates, it will not have to sacrifice any sales to regular customers. Then the variable cost per unit of $10 becomes the lowest acceptable transfer price. If we take a look at the equation in previous slide, transfer price in this scenario should be greater than or equal to variable cost per unit plus total contribution margin on lost sales divided by number of units transferred. So if we follow the equation, $10, this is a variable cost per unit, plus 0 contribution margin on lost sales divided by number of units transferred. Of course, this is 0. So the lowest possible transfer price by the seller division would be $10. The buying division can buy similar orange from the outside supplier for $20. So this purchase price becomes the highest acceptable transfer price for the buying division. Combining the requirements of both selling division and buying division, the range of acceptable transfer prices in this situation should be between $10 and $20. If West Coast Plantations has no idle capacity and must sacrifice other customer orders 1,000 crates to meet grocery mart's demands, 1,000 crates, then the selling division's lowest possible transfer price can be calculated following the equation. Transfer price should be greater than or equal to variable cost per unit, $10, plus total contribution margin on lost sales divided by number of units transferred. The contribution margin per crate is $15. That's the difference between selling price per crate and variable cost per crate, $25 minus 10, so we can get $15. Multiplied by 1,000 crates, divided by number of transferred 1,000 crates. So we can get $25. This is the lowest possible transfer price for the selling division. Then the buying division's highest possible transfer price should be less than or equal to the price offered by outside supplier, $20. Then in this scenario, there is no range of acceptable transfer prices, so the negotiation process will fail and no transfer will take place. If West Coast Plantations has some idle capacity, 500 crates, and must sacrifice other customer orders, 500 crates, to meet grocery mart's demands, 1,000 crates, then the selling division's lowest possible transfer price can be calculated the following equation. $10 plus contribution margin per crate, $15, multiplied by 500 crates sacrifice, divided by 1,000 crates transferred. And we can get the lowest possible transfer price should be $17.50. The buying division's highest possible transfer price, still $20, same as the cost buying from outside supplier. Combining the requirements of both the selling and buying divisions, the range of acceptable transfer prices in this situation should be between $17.50 and $20. Transfers at a cost to the selling division. Most companies set transfer prices at either the variable cost or full absorption cost incurred by the selling division. Cost-based transfer prices are often used in practice because they're easily understood and convenient to use. The cost approach to setting transfer prices is relatively simple, but it has some drawbacks. First, using full cost as the transfer price can lead to sub-optimization because it does not distinguish between variable costs and fixed costs. Variable costs may be relevant to the transfer pricing decision, but fixed costs may be irrelevant. What's sub-optimization? Sub-optimization occurs when managers do not act in the best interests of the overall company or even their own divisions. Second, if cost is used as a transfer price, the selling division will never show a profit on any internal transfer. The only division which shows a profit is the division that makes the final sale to an outside party. Third, cost-based transfer prices do not provide incentives to control costs. If the actual costs of one division are passed on to the next, there is little incentive for anyone to work on reducing costs. Transfers at market price. A market price, that is, the price charged for an item on the open market, is often regarded as the best approach to the transfer pricing problem. A market price approach works best when there is an outside market of customers that routinely purchase the transferred products or service, and the selling division has no idle capacity. With no idle capacity, the real cost of a transfer from the company's perspective is the opportunity cost of a lost revenue on the outside sale. But a market price approach does not work well when the selling division has idle capacity. In this case, market-based transfer prices are likely to be higher than the variable cost per unit of a selling division.